My name is Dr. James, and today our topic is entitled 24 Habits Silently Killing the Kidneys. We know very well that the kidneys are so precious. They are involved in controlling the fluid in the body, getting rid of waste through the urine. They are very important for bone health, for oxygenation. That is because they stimulate the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells for oxygen. They are very important for mineral balance, and so they're important also for bone. They're important for our circulation in general. So it's something that we have to take care of the kidneys in any form, in any way we have to take care of the kidneys. Unfortunately, people do blood tests every year, especially those people that are taking blood pressure medication. They are invited for blood tests that normally they are clear that they are okay. One of the reasons being that the kidneys will work harder to compensate any damage in the kidneys. So normally the blood markers like creatinine or urea will not be seen in the blood, so the person will be cleared, will be told their kidneys are okay, unless the kidneys are about 60% damaged. Before, normally this urea or creatinine will be shown in the blood, and at that point maybe they will tell you your kidney, you have a chronic kidney disease stage 3 or 4, or sometimes even 5, and that would be very, very sad news for that individual. Let's look at the 24 factors or habits that we are involved in, or conditions that are affecting the kidneys and killing them silently. Number 1 is diabetes, specifically diabetes type 2, which is basically caused by lifestyle and then poor nutrition. In fact, genetics is about 3-5% role that it plays, and even that it depends on your lifestyle that will activate these genes. So mostly it's about your lifestyle, and then of course your poor nutrition, and a few factors that I'll be mentioning, like poor sleep at night, that can also lead to diabetes. So it's not about only the sugar that you eat that can cause that, but even some medications can cause diabetes type 2. But apart from that, that is number 1 problem. But number 2 is blood pressure. Blood pressure is not disease on its own. It is an indicator something is wrong. But it can be even that your kidneys are weak. That's why your blood pressure is up, because the kidneys regulate blood pressure. And so if you have blood pressure, you have to find why you have blood pressure. So blood pressure can damage the large arteries or even the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys directly, and it can stiffen these arteries or these blood vessels, which filter actually waste in the kidneys. Number 3 is too much salt intake. So we need salt in the body, but we need to eat the natural salt in moderation. The salt we should avoid is the table salt, which is only 2 minerals. But we need salt. The body needs salt, but we need salt in moderation. The next white stuff is the sugar. Too much sugar get into your blood will also destroy the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys. So we got to be aware of sugar, too much intake of sugar. The next point is too much meat, especially red meat, will not help, because red meat will produce too much acid, and the kidneys getting rid of acid is a real problem. It will gradually weaken the kidneys. It's not only that about red meat only, but protein in general. When you eat too much protein, even it could be healthy protein like fish, or it could be eggs. We can be eating a lot of eggs because eggs are healthy. If you're adult, maybe 3-4 eggs a week should be enough for you. And then you have a reasonable amount of fish, but we need protein for building our muscles, especially as we age. The next point is too much exercise. That is when you do strenuous exercise, excessive exercise, it can produce what they call myoglobin. This is a protein which your muscles will, your system will produce, and that can cause problems to the kidneys as well. And the other way is the opposite way. That is called a sedentary lifestyle. There are some individuals that will not exercise at all, or there are some individuals whose job is sitting. So when you do a lot of sitting and you don't do any exercise, that can contribute to weakening of the kidneys. You may not know that at all. The next point, number 8, is overuse of painkillers like aspirin and paracetamol and ibuprofen. A little bit of problem, they take painkillers that can reduce blood flow to the kidneys, and that can cause weakening of the kidneys. Number 9 is ignoring the urge to urinate. So when you ignore nature's call, it can build up urine in your bladder that can serve as a breeding ground for bacteria, and that can back up in your kidneys and can cause infections in your kidneys as well and damage the kidneys. But when you keep too much urine in your blood, it can cause tears in the bladder walls, and then reduce the capacity of your bladder to store urine. So that is another interesting point. Number 10 is ignoring treating urinary tract infections. If you're a person that often have problems with, or people that have problems with the or repeated urinary tract infection, basically because they have weakened immune system, they may treat it with antibiotics, but it comes back over and over. But if you don't treat it well, it can cause problems to your kidneys. Smoking and alcohol can also cause problems to your kidneys. Somebody will say, I don't smoke, but if you are a secondary smoker, if you're standing next to somebody who smokes, it can also cause your kidneys to damage. So you do everything in moderation. If you're an alcohol person, drink that in very moderation to prevent damage to your kidneys. Drinking sodas, means the soft drinks that contain, of course, phosphorus acid, can lead to even kidney stones that can gradually also cause damage to your kidneys. Number 13, eating processed food. This UPF, that is ultra processed foods, can really impact your kidney health. Number 14 is about water. When you drink too much water or too less water, it can also cause problems to your kidneys. Another thing is that when you drink ice water, it can also be a problem to your kidneys. Water should be drunk also to sip water during the day. You don't drink a lot of water at once. So just be aware of that. The next point that we should also be aware of is not getting enough sleep at night. Normally at night our blood pressure goes down naturally, so it's very good for the kidneys and the heart. But then if we can't sleep, or we do night duties, our blood pressure will rise and gradually affect the kidneys and the heart, and with time the kidneys can be weakened. The next point is sleep apnea. This is cessation of our breath during the night, about 10 seconds and restart. It can go on about 5 to 10 times to 100 times before day breaks. That can also affect the kidneys and even cause blood pressure and stroke as well. Number 17 is excessive caffeine. So caffeine intake can also damage the kidneys, and chronic stress can cause, of course, high blood pressure, which in turn can affect the kidneys. Overuse of laxatives, because you have constipation, you take laxatives, that can impact also the kidney health. Number 20 is heavy metal exposure. That is lead, mercury, arsenic. We can find mercury, for example, in dental fillings. That can also cause a problem actually to the kidneys. Industrial environmental toxins like pesticides or herbicides. We find pesticides in our food, and then that is the reason why we should cleanse the body from time to time. That can also damage the kidneys as well. Number 22 is chronic use of certain drugs, hospital drugs like antibiotics or antacids, or blood pressure medication. They can all cause problems to the kidneys. Number 23 is heart disease. Heart disease will directly affect your kidneys. If you have heart disease, you have to reverse this condition. Number 24, the last one, is too much worries. If you are too worried all the time, it can affect your kidneys. As you listen to it, you may have kidney problem or other chronic disease. A call away and your life will never be the same. If you're calling outside the UK, it's +44 738 464 7300. If you have any problem, just call me. If you are within the UK, of course, you can call me on the number 0738 464 7300. If you want to learn more about my videos, please, and not to miss, go to my YouTube channel, put in Dr. James Natural Link, Dr. James Natural Link, and please go there and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future programs. Thank you so much for listening.